I am Cruellica Kain, and after the next batch of news that my loving husband, Kaiji no Kami, has shared with me about Maya from Gozyuger, I had to, in a little bit of frustration and anger, share a live stream called WTF TOEI, and really going on how the punishment for what's going on with, I think it's Maya Ishinomori or Ishimori? Kaiju.
Imamori?
Huh?
Imamori?
Imamori. So Maya Imamori has, as you probably saw from Kaiju's earlier video today, just has been terminated from Gozyuger. And the reason why she was terminated was due to underage drinking. And hi everyone who's joined. It's nice to see you all. And so Goju Unicorn, or Maya, has been terminated because of the fact that she did underage drinking. Now, we have talked on and off for the last few months in regards to different controversies that have been going on for Maya, be it that she was in a relationship, so to speak, with a man who worked on the sets, or that she was half Filipino, which really made people frustrated.
Oh, and episode 38 is not airing next week. They're postponing it.
And the fact of the matter is they decided that underage drinking was going to be the cause. And I know Kaiju ranted about this. He is really angry. And for anybody who doesn't know, because I saw Deca Striker's comment, this is a live. That's why I look like crap, because I really wanted to talk about this for two reasons. One, I don't feel like the punishment fits the crime. For a culture such as Japan, is where drinking is commonplace in the professional environment. Drinking is part of their culture. And to have it where somebody who's drinking underage be fired for it is despicable and irreprehensible. Now, we could go on from the U.S. version of it and be like, really? That's the worst she did? Even her having relations with a married man, we've seen much worse from our Hollywood actors and actresses. And it actually really made me angry with Japan because, well, Japan, because of the culture of this drinking and then taking it out on a young person, I think an apology because she's representing children makes complete sense, because she is a young actress. She was drinking, sure. But it's a little disgusting when it comes to that. And for your comment, Deca Striker, I work in the corporate world. I've worked in the corporate world for over 20 years. And I also do agree, companies have the right to hire and fire whomever they want. And none of us ever are going to agree with it. And I absolutely do agree with that. But I think one of the challenges is that for anything that deals with a television show or celebrity or anything like that, you're going to have a lot of people who look at it as kind of why it was done, because there are things such as wrongful terminations, and that's where you get into it. And yes, companies have images, yes, companies have a lot of things going on that they have to save face. And in normal circumstances, I am all for it with a company, because once again, I've worked in corporate worlds for longer than I ever care to think. And so it's important that we remember that. It's just like everything going on for the transition of Super Sentai to Universe Sentai, or however it's going to be called. But I think one of the other frustrations that I have is she's a young person who has been fired. And she's a young person who's had a lot of controversy thrown at her over the last few weeks, few months, because I know we've been talking about different controversies revolving around her for quite some time. And while I respect that Toei has the right to terminate whomever they want, it also is the aspect of how you handle it, especially if it's going to be done in the public eye. And that's the thing. When terminations happen for you, me, Kaiju, anybody in the regular world, it's not going to be publicized. Nobody's ever going to know unless some whistleblower comes out online and posts about it. But for people in television, it's very much different. So I will say, as much as I respect it from a business perspective, I don't agree with it. And looking at your comments is, even from a business point of view, it doesn't make sense. Now they're going to have to reshoot, re-edit the show, and have awkward shifts to the story. That's the other thing that comes in, is how do you handle it in different ways? And no, I really respect where you're coming from, Deca Striker, because you're bringing really good points. It doesn't make sense because the money that they're going to lose from this.
Which account are you on?
I'm on yours.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, wait.
Oh, I have yours saved on my phone.
Okay.
But I think of it also from the monetary perspective with a business too.
Fuck Gozyuger.
But from a business perspective, they actually lose more doing all of these reshoots, re-edits, and changes than they do from finishing out the show with her and shuffling her off into the quiet versus what they're doing. And I'm not one who gets in my feelings about things. My loving husband who comes and goes, he absolutely is in his feelings about that. And that's because he's more of that artistic person. And there's no commentary on that. I actually know quite a few people who are very affected by this, and deservedly so. Everybody has the right to their opinions. And I just hope that Maya is okay. That she is a human being with the fact that everything done to her is okay. Because with all of it being so public, I hope people are not going to bully her. I hope people are not going to shame her recklessly. I hope she is able to move on with her life happily. And hi, everybody who's commenting. She was fired, Jake Schuster, and yes, the show is ultimately ending. At the end of the day, the show is pretty much done. They've already shot the entire series. Now they have to do reshoots. But I do think she deserves better, and she deserves at least human dignity. And I know I'm saying this as an American, but as a business professional, I think anything being done to a person where they have to be terminated in the public eye, they deserve that respect. And so that's really the long and short of it. But yeah, the Gozyuger is ending. Sorry for moving around the screen. But Gozyuger is ending. Yes, there are some people who really like Gozyuger. There are people who like Goju Lion or Goju Unicorn. So those are the hard parts. Now people are going to have to learn different things. And I also think outside of just her, what does this say to children who watch the show? So anything like little girls who they're trying to cater to with the female characters, what does this say to them as they watch the show and do see their character slowly removed from the story, slowly changed into something else? What does that say to them? And how does a company do better on their PR when it comes to it? I know everybody's going to have different opinions, but it's hard, and it does seem like it's more of we don't know what to do with her, and that is the difficult. And yeah, breaking one simple rule, I agree. A suspension or a warning could have been much more appropriate.
But not being fully removed from the show so that all her hard work is just fully eliminated.
And yes, no, the show is made for a child audience, Jess, and that's the hard part, because I had to think about that as well first, that it is catering towards children. But would the children have known she was drinking underage unless somebody put it out there? And that's the other thing that comes with it. We know it's for a child audience. Everything is catered toward that child audience. And I just feel that they didn't handle it appropriately, because I don't know if it was done right. Now, and yeah, we're going to continue finishing out Gozyuger. As much as it might be frustrating to see how this changes, I'm not going to boycott anything, because truthfully, if I boycotted every company that has pissed me off for some reason, I would never leave my home. I wouldn't own anything. I would have no internet. I would have no TV. I would have no YouTube. I would have no book. You'd be going down a slippery slope with that. So while I title this WTF TOEI, it is not to say that we need to boycott TOEI or be angry at TOEI. We can be frustrated at the decision. We don't have to agree with the decision. Obviously, it's going to happen. But I do think if you are going to put, I think as Kaiju had put in his video, sexualized images of this young person at 16 before she gets a show, then you have to think about how you're going to correct that for a child audience. Well, yes, I agree with that, Decca. You're bringing in a behind-the-scenes issue to an audience of children that don't necessarily understand what's going on. And yes, Jake, I will work with Kaiju to take his anger aside and review it fairly. While it's important to criticize and critique failings of a show, issues within a show, anything like that, we do have to look at it equally. And I came on here just because I wanted to express my frustration and my sadness for a human being whose life is essentially destroyed at the moment. And anybody in a celebrity system, having even think of actors and actresses in the US, UK, anywhere around the world that gets put in these situations, I just worry for them at the end of the day. So, no need to boycott Toei, because if you did that, you wouldn't even get to enjoy Zets. But we do need to, as people, not be afraid to speak our minds, even if we don't agree with something. And that is the most important piece of it. And I have no problem speaking my mind and saying that Toei can hire whomever they want, but they need to do it smartly, they need to do it fairly, and they need to think about how they want to publicize this to their audience of children who maybe don't understand what's going on, and to parents who probably didn't even think about it. And I'll just put one thing on there that I think I saw here, that yes, the A games. We can absolutely just say that Boom Boonger is the actual finale of Super Sentai at this point. We can definitely go there. But thank you for letting me rant. I didn't want to come across it as angry, but I wanted to come across this as thinking about the fairness of what's being done to an actual human being. And thank you for saying I did it better than Kaiju. As I mentioned earlier, if you didn't hear it, he's very much in his feelings. And that is because, as a former teacher, he's very passionate about the protection of kids. And when he saw the sexualized pictures of her and then having her fired for alcohol, it felt like a double standard to him. And that's why he's really in his feelings right now and really frustrated. And I will say, on behalf of women, that is a huge kindness to women to say, you do something like taking pictures that could be considered risque for a minor, but you're going to blackball her from the industry because she had some drinks. And that's how I feel about it. And once again, don't boycott anything. That's not the point in all of this. It's not to boycott, but it's to say, we understand what you're saying, but we don't agree with it. Especially in this world of cancel culture. In this world of cancel culture, there's so much boycotting everything or trying to cancel something. And I really feel like this actress is a victim of it at a very public level. And putting a situation where anyone is being fired is not cool. And sorry, I was just reading the comments. But no, I come from everything of a little bit more of a openness, mainly because everything bad people can do to each other, I've experienced or I've done. I've been the bully, I've been the victim. I've had to terminate people from companies I worked for things that in my opinion were incredibly stupid. And I've had to hire people to some of the companies that I work with that I would have never hired myself. And so that's why I want to stand up for people who are being victimized, but at the same time, I want to ensure that we're not stopping ourselves from enjoying things that we love. And if you love Super Sentai, and if you love Gozyuger, continue to still watch it. If you still love what Toei brings out, but don't agree with it, still continue to watch what Toei brings out. You can, though, post online and say, I don't agree with this decision. And you can put your feelings into it. You can put your anger into it. I believe words are more important than just sitting by and taking it. That's my thing overall. And hi, everyone. I see there's a bunch of new people joining us. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to chatting with you. Yes, Kamen Rider 64, I agree. Gokai Silver's actor did way worse, which now he's been terminated from, I believe he's been terminated from acting in any Toei properties, right?
For the mall, he's in jail right now.
Oh, he's in jail. Okay. And I will say underage drinking is the silliest thing I've ever heard. Because in some countries, it's not unheard of for kids to drink wine at like age 10. But I've done underage drinking. It's not the most proudest moment of my life. But on brighter news, though, we are about, 10 minutes away from the next episode?
It started 4 minutes ago.
Oh, shit. That's why a lot of people left us. Okay, we are actually about to start watching Zets. Is anybody excited for the newest episode? Are you watching Zets? Are you chilling? Are you having fun? I am going to hop off the live stream soon. We'll definitely do more. Thanks again for not minding the shaking cam. Thank you, everyone who's joined me in this. And if you like these random live streams where we can just talk about hot topics that come up out of nowhere, please don't hesitate to post in the comments. I'm trying to do more to be more involved in the channel. But let me see where we have. Very behind on both Zets and Gozyuger since I was in Japan on vacation. Oh my god, Decca! I am so jealous. It's one of the reasons why we're learning Japanese, so that, one, we can enjoy our series a little bit more openly without having to solely rely on subtitles. But at the same time, we can save up to go on vacation to Japan as well. And yes, if this particular series is the end of Super Sentai, it is sad to see that it's going to have all this drama for a finale. And that can ruin a lot of people's motivation to do anything. Definitely catch up on your favorite shows. And since it is Saturday still, and it's pretty late in some parts of this country, absolutely have a wonderful rest of your day. And I definitely am going to go I do know that somebody from Rurouni Kenshin live action did. Well, the mangaka, I think, did some terrible things for Kenshin. Yes, he is the PD file. And then I know there's a lot of other people who have done terrible things that have been tokusatsu. And don't boycott anything unless you feel you must. Don't hate anybody else for not being a part of this decision because it was made by executives and they're not the favorites. And at the end of the day, just support Maya. Tell her you appreciate what she's done and give her love, because I imagine there's quite a few people in Japan that are not. And I just don't want anything bad to happen to her. That's all. But have a great rest of your day. And we will do another one of these soon. Because you never know. There might be something that comes up that he, Kaiju, goes all passionate about. And and Dekastar, Kaiju can't pay me because I'm his wife. But just so you know, hubby, Dekastar says, "Damn, hearing you talk makes me mad. Kaiju, pay her, damn it. She is one of the best voices on your channel." I appreciate you all. Thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. And we'll do another one of these soon so I can give some sanity to the insane. And yes, we love Maya. Even if she wasn't your favorite character, we love her for what she did, and she deserves better. Bye, everyone.